Hey guys, Martin here, bringing another Dragon Ball Z Dokkan battle video, and so today we're going to be taking a look at the AGL Pan as we continue our 50% support EZA showcases, and I've heard some very interesting things about this unit compared to some of the others, because remember, as we've gone through in each of these videos, all of the units are the same in terms of their passive. It's their super attacks that set them apart, as well as obviously the character they are, because that determines their links and their categories. So as always, we'll run through this as quickly as possible. She gives 10% attack and defense and 3 key to AGL types, 50% attack and defense to super AGL types. So super AGL gets 60% and 3 key. She changes orbs to AGL. She gets 50% attack and defense per orb obtained, an extra 20% if they're AGL orbs, as well as 10% attack. So AGL orbs give her 70% attack and defense and 10% crit chance. If you've got 2 other super allies on the team, she can change the entire field of orbs to AGL once only, below 50% HP. And then if you have 3 other AGL allies, she has guard for 4 turns. Now, her super attack effect is very interesting. We've already talked about how Int Gohan and STR Kabe probably have the best one, which is the 9 turn stack of defense. But hers is that she raises all allies' attack and defense by 20% for 2 turns. So, for example, we've got her here. We're running her on the GT Heroes team with the LR Goku. Now, I've seen people using builds already. Even though this guy is Int, so she doesn't directly support him, after she's done her super attack, he'll be getting the advantage of her buff on the next turn. So if we go ahead and do this, not a lot of orbs, unfortunately, on turn 1 here. We have 133k defense. She does have all in the family, which is a good link. Obviously, being a Pan, all in the family is a good one. She, of course, has GT, but she has Saiyan Lineage, the Innocent Shocking Speed. She's got some kind of wonky links for some of the units you'd run her with, but of course, you know, pretty much I think every single one, right? GT unit has GT, so there's always that at least. So let's go ahead and grab these. So it's only 3 AGL orbs, so that puts her at 400k. But that 30% buff apparently is multiplicative for everyone. So she is going to be getting an extra 100 odd K defense when she supers, because she, of course, gives the buff to herself. But it's for 2 turns, and this is where things will get very interesting, because obviously she's going to be giving that buff to everyone on the next rotation. And it's very interesting when you think about, we've already talked quite a lot about these guys, because, you know, this is what, like the 7th one of these I've done in a row or something, because we're doing all of them, of course. She's providing the 60% support and 3 keys to super AGL types while she's on the rotation, but then unlike any of the other ones, she's then providing support to the next turn as well. So if you are using these guys as 3rd slot floating support units, then it's not just that rotation that she's on that's getting the support, it's the following turn, which is a huge buff. Obviously, you can't have 2 of her on the team unless you're running her as a lead, but, you know, these guys' leader skills are not very good. But yeah, that's really, really good, and it means you can have these non-AGL characters on the team still getting directly supported by her, right? We've talked about in some of the other videos with, like, take Cell, for example. He could be supporting Merge Zamasu, but you're not always going to be running another tech unit on rotation with Zamasu, so the only one of the units is getting the support. Whereas on this team, even the non-AGL units are getting support because of the way her super attack effect works. And if she double supers, then it's 60%. So the most insane thing we could potentially see during this run, if we're actually able to get it to happen, is if she double supers, and then on the next turn we've been able to get full power LR Super Saiyan 4 Goku out, which is probably going to be difficult because he's not going to take any hits this turn. But because of the buff, obviously he's 264k. For him, for start of turn defense on turn 1, that's obviously pretty good. Unfortunately, we're not going to be able to get any build up with him here. So it's not like he'll be able to reap the benefits of her being on the team just yet. But we do still get the attack buff as well. So even without being hit and getting any of his extra buffs, he's still able to drop 7.8. Next to LR Gohan, they share a couple of links, including Legendary Power, but no Saiyan Raw, which is, of course, like the big one for Super Saiyan 4 characters. So, alright, so let's do this again. I want to just see Pan take a bunch of hits, right, with the all the orbs especially. So we'll do this. Start of turn, we should be about the same, right? Yeah, because we don't carry over any buffs or anything. So we can grab 10 orbs that are all AGL here. So that puts her at 693k defense. And of course she has guard on this turn. So it's pretty good. And then, you know, Goku in slot 1, he's not getting the extra benefit of her super attack effect buffing all allies. But he's one of the super AGL units on the team. So he's getting the 60% attack and defense as well as 3 key. So he's obviously going to be getting a ton of support here, a ton of buffs. He should tank this for double digits, right? I know he's not super built up yet, but yeah, he does. So he's very good. 6.8 for Pan. Come on, give me that double super. One of these. That's the thing. She, and again, any of these units that are raising defense on super, we've talked about this with the other ones as well, and I would include her in that because she gives herself the buff. Any of these guys that are raising defense on super, you should build them full additional if you're able to get dupes for them. I was looking through my hidden potential builds on my main account over on Global, and of course, apart from Kabe and Hit, I only have them all at 55% anyway. So, not really able to do hidden potential builds for them, but of course with like skill orbs and stuff, that's the way you'd want to go. But yeah, I wanted to bring some units that fit under Goku's leader skill that we don't use as much, like these guys, the Super Saiyans from the Worldwide Celebration from 2022. Them getting this unit is such a huge buff for them, because they're getting, by being in slot 3, they were getting her 60% support and the 30% from the super attack effect, which is pretty ridiculous. So no, we're not going to be able to get... Why does he have to be healing in slot 1 on this turn and not attacking? So we're unfortunately not really going to be able to see her direct effect on Super Saiyan 4 Goku, which is a little bit disappointing. Maybe doesn't kill here because of the heal, and we only got the 12 key super. We would like Goku to at least take a couple of hits so we can get the big buff for the next turn. But alright, well, he's going to immediately take a super, of course. Worst case scenario for Goku, the first attack he takes is a super, so of course it is. But in this situation, he supered first. He's got that support floating over from the previous turn from Pan, so we do tank it for double digits. But the GT duo should finish off this guy here. I mean, these guys, look at that. They're 12 key and they're at like 8.5 mil. Because they get some decent links with the Super Saiyan 4 Goku. And then, of course, the 30% support from Pan from the previous turn. So, very, very good super attack effect for her. In fact, let's go ahead and... We won't get all in the family active, but we can do this. In fact, we could... I guess we could just do this, right? It's not as many links. How many links are you getting from you? Is it just legendary power? Oh, and fierce battle, of course. But if we do this, and then we can do this, so 7 orbs, 6 were AGL, so she no longer has guard, but 527k, then she's going to super and give herself 30%, which is over 150, so she's going to be at like 700k defense here, which is pretty good. Unfortunately, Super Saiyan 4 Goku won't get the benefit, but at least he'll get to get hit here at least. Because, yeah, we haven't really seen these guys properly get off the mark yet, the Super Saiyan 4 Gokus. But I've seen some interesting screenshots, like I say, of using this team with Goku, with Pan, even against, like, Fusion Zamasu. And he's able to get some pretty good buffs from her on that previous turn, on the next turn, once he has the extra bit of support. So we'll see what the Super Saiyan 4 Goku on the next turn is going to look like, because at least he did get hit in the previous turn, which gives him the 3-turn defensive buff. So he's going to have that with the 30% on top as well. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see what he's going to be at here. Can we get some attacks in on him at least on this turn? Oh, we can get a few. That's cool. So start of turn, he is 492, which is pretty good for him in this form. I guess, yeah, we can give him this. We've given him the key. He's probably not going to go too crazy. And will we kill this turn? I'm not sure. Grab these. Depending on how Pan changes the orbs, if he does survive this turn. Probably not, actually, all things considered, right? Goku into the GT duo, into the Super Saiyans. 10 mil for Super Saiyan 4 Goku here. So, I mean, he's looking pretty good. It's just very interesting to me, as I've already said, right? But, like, Pan is actually able to support non-AGL characters, which none of the other ones are able to do. because she gives that support to all allies. So even if you are running her as a floating unit and not keeping her on rotation, because obviously, you know, after she supers, anyone else on the rotation is getting that buff as well. But even if you're floating her as a third slot unit, everyone on the next rotation gets support. So you can run like double, you know, LR full power Goku, run a unit to go with him, like, you know, the GT Duo, the LR Super Saiyan 4s, Tech full power Super Saiyan 4 Goku, and then as long as you're making sure you do have the AGL allies on the team. I guess that's the only downside, right? Like, looking at his leader skill, it's why I had to add in some full power units, because when it comes to GT heroes, there really aren't many good like AGL, like LR Super Saiyan 4 Goku, the 4-year anniversary unit. Even though he has his EZA and the unique skill orbs, he doesn't really, he's not going to cut it for the difficult content anymore, unfortunately. But it is what it is. So let's see, what have we got now? We've got Goku and Pan. Now Pan, yeah, see, unless we've got a ton of orbs here, she's not going to be tanking the super. In fact, we're actually, this is actually a really bad turn, because Goku has type disadvantage. So are you able to live this with your guard? Probably not. Yeah, this is a bit sketchy, actually. We got a lot of links active this turn, though, except for Saiyan Raw. So that would have been, this would have been a great turn to actually be able to get some decent orbs. I wish I'd bought the AGL orb changing item. I forgot to change it, which is super annoying, because I believe, does it change? It changes AGL to, turns green to AGL. Tech to AGL is what I'm looking for, which would have connected all of these up, and we could have put them in slot 1. But will Gohan survive this? I think he will, although maybe he needs these links active. Yeah, it's a bit annoying. Alright, well, we'll do this, and then we can grab all of these. God, that's going to give her such a huge buff. We won't be able to see it, though, unfortunately. But alright, Gohan, maybe get a dodge. That'd be nice. I don't think the Gohan, I think he only has like 3 dodge, if any. 306k. I always underestimate just how good guard is against the this big super. But he's at 8.1, and bear in mind, he's barely had any opportunity to super. But that's with him getting all of those links from Super Saiyan 4 Goku, and then, of course, 60% support from Pan. So that is definitely very, very good. Yeah, I think Pan probably in the upper half. Once I've done all the showcases, I probably won't do it as like a separate video, but I might post like a tier list of the 10 of them. But Pan definitely gets bonus points, right, for that ability to support everybody. Because now look at this rotation. I mean, we could see some pretty crazy stuff. Like if I was to do this, then obviously this Goku's now getting a massive amount of support in terms of attack. Like, what is his defense start of turn here? Yeah, he's lost the buff because he hasn't been hit. So unfortunately that does also mean his attack power is going to be significantly lower. But if we go ahead and do this, yes, he's still dropping 11 mil, and that's without him being hit again for the turn, right, to get the extra, because we saw the defense has dropped off. So that's him without getting those buffs. Fortunately, he was able to take another hit. I can't remember which Goku. One of them has taken, or had taken 4 before this turn. So if it was him, then we'd actually be able to get the thing. But we're going to be moving into the final phase now anyway. It's one of those unfortunate things about Goku. I mean, this is one of the easier sort of long-form events, so it's not like we were going to be super likely to see the thing anyway. But I can't remember the last time we did their active skill. Wait, actually, did I bring... I only just realised, did I just bring the already, like, costume changed version of them on the team without realising? I think I did. That's the funny thing about the private server, obviously, is that those units are just available. You can have transforming units in their transformed state, like, straight away. And I think I just looked for... I saw the thumbnail, like, of them, right, with the Super Saiyan hair. I was just like, oh, yeah, I'll put them on the team. Not realising there was the actual already awakened version. But, oh well. I guess it is what it is. Sad we weren't on a little bit lower HP. Oh, could you imagine the turn with Gohan? Especially with the lower HP. Imagine the turn with AGL Gohan, Pan, she does the full orb field change, and then you transform Gohan into a Super Saiyan 2. He technically orb changes, but the whole field's AGL already. And then you give all the AGL orbs to Gohan, and then he's also getting 60% support from Pan. Like, imagine how hard he would hit on that turn. That would actually be insane. So, that's something that I would quite like to see at some point. But yeah, will we actually get a chance to see Pan again? That's the only problem. This is why you don't float off units during the during these showcases, right? We keep them on main rotation so we can get to see as many turns of them with them as possible. Because we might end up just killing Cell here, especially as it is the costume change version of these guys. Either that or their animation played and I just completely disregarded it. But because usually you can't use their active skill the turn after. So we would have been able to use it much earlier on if they'd started in that form, right? Maybe? I don't know. I must have missed something somewhere, but it's not super important. Are we going to get one more turn here? We are indeed, okay. So if Pan gets a good orb change, which she will, because guess who's below 50% HP? So, yep. Well, we can do this. Who does she link the best with? Yeah, it's going to be Goku, fair enough. There's no reason to... Wait, does Oob have shocking speed? I actually don't know, let's see. Can't remember from the last time I exchanged with him. He does, okay. I mean, it doesn't matter because Pan's obviously just going to kill. But this is her now with the full field of orbs, but with 80% support from Super Saiyan Vegeta. So she's at 1.3 million defense. When she supers, she's going to go up by like 400k defense, basically, because it is a multiplicative buff. So she goes up to like 1.7 mil. Now, obviously, this cell is STR, so it doesn't really matter too much. But, yeah, this is going to be crazy. What is her attack stat for the Dokkan attack? 15 million. Okay. And, of course, because we got all those AGL orbs, it is a guaranteed crit as well. So, yeah, big damage. So yeah, let me know what you guys think down below in the comment section when it comes to Pan. I definitely think she is in the upper echelon of these units because of that buff that applies to all the other allies. I think that is very, very good. The only downside is teams like GT Heroes, like I said, don't have a super strong Super AGL team, but things like Goku family, stuff like that, there's a lot of strong options. Hybrid Saiyans, of course. So yeah, Pan definitely seems like she is very good and one of the better of the 10. So let me know what you guys think down below in the comment section. Let's see. Yeah, it was the costume change run already. Alright, well, that's going to be it for the video, guys. This has been the Masked Ningen. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new. Check out the links down below for the Discord and the merch store, and I will see you all again soon. Have a good one.